How can black people rise up and overcome?
Get out and vote?
That is incorrect. I'm sorry.
Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president.
1 out of 100 of those illegal aliens voted. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of votes being cast. And remember,
There's even a bigger influx now in terms of Hispanic voters or Hispanic citizens who want to become citizens.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there. Number one. The fact is that the consideration is...
I looked at the press conference last night and said, where are the black reporters? I mean, we're looking at all whites questioning Biden, and black voters supposed to just get in line. So I think that a lot of the people that are stepping out there are taking things for granted.
We're riding with Biden. We're riding with Biden.
Did anyone mention Harris?
We are riding with Biden.
Was there conversation about Vice President?
We are riding with Biden.
Was there conversation about Vice President Kamala Harris in there?
We are riding with Biden.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
tick faster. That'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick dastardly, a Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master ice. And living the true gods, giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords. And they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or you the one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
All right. Yes, indeed. Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the Beatzilla PDX official show. I am your host, Beatzilla PDX officially. And this is the weekly wrap-up. Hopefully everybody is doing well this evening on this good end of the week. We have seen a lot in the past month or so. Things are ramping up on this 2024 season. So, it's going to be a very interesting next few months. But with that being said, some of the things are coming out right before our very eyes and playing out before our faces. And I just want to kind of highlight some issues that I see this evening. So with that being said, as you are coming into this broadcast, please hit that like button. If you are on X right now, make sure you come over here to the YouTube channel. And this is Beatzilla PDX official YouTube channel, of course. Make sure you hit that like button, share this out on your social media, and subscribe if you have not already subscribed. And if you do, make sure you hit that notification bell, hit the word all. That way you'll be notified anytime this broadcast goes live or a video is uploaded or video premieres, which some of those have just did. And then we also have the membership, and you can become a member, which I have some things also from you members that I want to put in there. Didn't turn out as good as what I wanted because of the circumstance of the device I was using. So the sound is choppy. However, some sound is kind of good. It just, the groove is disturbed. So I'll put it in the members only section and let y'all deal with that. But nonetheless, if you would like to support this channel by becoming a member, hit the join button, and you could do so, and then you'll see the badge by your name, just like everyone else in the chat. And of course, just like I just mentioned, there will be stuff in the members only area. So with that being said, man, it is a lot going on. And so let me go ahead and greet the chat as we do right here on these Friday evenings, because this broadcast is live. We have went down to one live broadcast a week. And as of right now, I believe next week might be a taped show. Because that's the wife's birthday weekend. So right now, I would say it's safe to say next Friday's broadcast will be taped. So you know now. But with that being said, we got Brother Kerman S. Wingfield in the house. Shout out to you, Kerman S. Wingfield. Yes, indeed. Strength and honor to you, Beatzilla. Black first. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Black first. And we got old grandma in the house. Jersey City is here. Black first. Thank you for being here as well. And we got Lawrence Lilly in the house. Black first. Beatzilla and family. Yes, indeed. And we got Lynette Williams in the house. Black first. Montgomery, Alabama in the building. All right. And we got our good sister Key Prince in the building. Black first. Yes, indeed. The peace and blessings. Yes, indeed, to the chat. Now, for our good sister Key Prince, she just celebrated a birthday. And I told her that, if she's in the live, I would sing her happy birthday. So after we wrap up this, the greetings in the chat, I will fulfill my word as we do here. So thank you, Key Prince, for being here and also being a member. And once again, happy birthday. David Boyd in the building, Black First, and Shalom. Yes, indeed, to family. Bronx, New York is here. Salute to you, my good brother, coming out of the Bronx. And Miss D at Suite 201. Hey, Beatzilla. Hey, chat. Thank you for being here on this good Friday evening. Hopefully all is well with you as well. Black First. And we got RBJ in the building. Salute to you, Black First from South Carolina. Yes, indeed. Appreciate it. And we got Antithesis in the house. Black First, Valdosta, Georgia in the house. And as well, thank you for your Cash App donation. I appreciate that. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you and yours. Thank you, Antithesis, Black First. And Black Spider in the building, Black First, Ocean Shores, Washington. Yes, indeed. Salute to you, my good sister. And, you know, you're up there that way. You know, they have an event going on up there, Melanin at Sea. They are on their way to Alaska. So Melanin at Sea got I think 150 black folks on a boat going to Alaska on one of them nicer cruises on them Edge class ships. So that's pretty dope. Salute to them. And salute to you, Black Spider, and thank you for being a member. In the Mix Radio, Black First from St. Louis. I'm voting for the couch in 2024. I know that's right. And it is definitely shaping up that way. Black First, brother. Yeah, it's most definitely looking that way. We got our good sister Judah Queen in the house. Salute to you, my good sister. Always a pleasure to have you in the building. How y'all doing? I am doing well. Hopefully everybody is good out your way. Black First, thank you for holding it down as the moderator. And also, thank you for being a member. All right. Let's see. Oh, we got Nightbot on duty. Nightbot is on duty, not going crazy no more. We got that one worked out. So thank you, Nightbot. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We got Tasha Peters in the house. Salute to you. Thank you, Black First. Yes, indeed. Y'all my East Coast night riders in the building. I appreciate that. So, with that being said, Key Prince in the building. All right. Let me do this. Oh. So it's a pleasure. Salute, everybody. It is a pleasure to celebrate one of my members' birthdays. And this sister has been down with this broadcast channel for a little minute. So to Key Prince, as you guys can see on the screen, y'all can give her some birthday love. Salute to our good sister. And I told her that I would sing her happy birthday. So let's do this. Let me get a drink of water. So I ain't out here just... Yeah, we had a lot of birthdays. It's birthday season, I guess. But let's go ahead and y'all give her happy birthdays and cake emojis in the chat. And with that being said, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Key Prince. Happy birthday to you. Hope you enjoyed that. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. A member for 17 months. Salute to you. Yes, indeed. Thank you. And salute, happy birthday. And with that, we also have a new member. Antithesis has joined the join the club over here. So he's one of the B1 warriors over here at the Beatzilla PDX official show members section. Yes, indeed. I appreciate that. Peace, power, blessings, protection be up on you and yours to the both of you. Key, Prince, and Antithesis. Thank you. 17 months. Hey. How about that? So I appreciate that. You say Beatzilla got the vocal skills. Yeah, I do a little bit. Yeah, I do a little bit. Dark-skinned brother in the house. What is going on, my good brother? Appreciate you. Thank you for being here, Black First. And also thank you for being a member. Yeah, yes. So, family, I'm sure some of y'all have already heard the news. While Young Thug should be looking at a mistrial, I believe his lawyer has finally actually asked for one, which I think what they were doing was methodically moving to that point. And maybe they're taking a note from this other case that was going on. But, ladies and gentlemen, Alec Baldwin's case has been dismissed. He is a free man. And what's really crazy about this particular situation is the prosecution. The prosecution was the ones hiding evidence. And they were hiding evidence from the jump. So this is really, really super strange. So the judge had nothing else, no other choice but to throw that case out. And the rest is history. The rest is history. I don't know how that applies to the woman that's already in prison. I don't know if this affects her situation at all. But as far as, hey, maybe it's the tinfoil fedora energy on me. I don't know. But in a system to where you know what the code is and being on code, if you know what monkey wrench to throw in a situation today, just begs to say, if I understand the law, I've been involved in the law so long and I know the ins and outs. So if I'm going to look out for my man over here, and I have this in my hands right now to kind of ensure it outcome down the road, but at the same time, oh man, this looks horrible. So they fluffed it all the way up. But at the same time, purposely botched their own case. How that makes sense? Maybe this is just an example of how the system of privilege works and how it's worked for a very long time. Like I said, I'm just theorizing a potential theory. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that with any kind of level of certainty that is the case or not, but it just gets my mind to working on things and say, It's one of those things to where, you know how they talk about DIE or DEI, right? DEI, diversity and inclusion. They always bring that up. Now, what was front loaded with a bunch of other stuff? So when you started talking about Black history, all of a sudden Black history starts getting lumped in with a bunch of other stuff. So somebody knowing that, okay, this is something that kind of would be specifically for Black people, let me put this gender stuff in here as a red herring that now the conservatives can latch onto and use as a lightning rod without looking racist. If supremacy takes both sides of the argument, like I said, it just could be the tinfoil fedora energy on me. I don't know. But y'all think Alec Baldwin is a free man. How about that? And Deja Taylor is in prison. For those of you who do not know who Asia Taylor is, Asia Taylor is a story we've been following here for a while. And, you know, they done that sister wrong. They railroaded her. Her child, 6-year-old child, got into. Now, one of the reports is very interesting. They described the incident as some kind of conflict of sorts. And I'm like, well, this woman's a teacher. What kind of conflict was going on? And so the thing that I keep asking, and people that follow this story have asked, what was going on with her relationship with this kid that he felt compelled that he needed to bring a gun to school? No one's listening to or looking at this child as any type of victim. That's how I knew when the story first broke in Richneck, Newport News, Virginia. I knew then, I think this child is black. They couldn't show the kid at first, and they wasn't showing the mother. So a lot of people were like, oh man, they kind of throwing this out there to make it seem like, because a lot of people were like, well, maybe this is a little white kid. I'm listening to the verbiage. Like I said, I'm from Portland, Oregon, University of White Supremacy. So I'm listening to the way they speak it. They don't talk like that about their kids. You got whole mass Dylan Roos. They do not talk that type of talk about their kids. Knowing that this dude did all of this. They still don't do that. And if y'all remember when I played the school board meeting, it sounded like a Klan rally. And they were calling that 6-year-old boy a young man. They don't do that to them. That's how I'm like, oh yeah, this kid is definitely black. And then they're talking about the mother. Oh, well, he should have did something. And then, you know, who could be prosecuted? Oh, this kid is definitely black. Oh, yeah. Oh, this kid is undoubtedly black. Talking about who could we press charges? Oh, what? Oh, wait. Yeah, that's how you know you got a black child in your midst. Phantom Beat in the house. Salute, Phantom Beat. I appreciate you for being here. Black first. Just think about it. So, okay, so they put Deja Taylor in prison. She has federal charges and state charges, by the way. Trying to stack her time, too. To be away from her kid that obviously is so troubled. But this is the way that she should have done something about her kid. She knew he was troubled and blah, blah, blah. This is a 6-year-old. Aren't we supposed to be not ruining children's lives? They don't want to stain a 18-year-old white kid. This is a 6-year-old. Again, what undoubtedly told me this kid's black. You got to listen to how they speak it. When you start hearing prosecution thrown in conversation, oh, they black. They black. They not white. You could bank that. So in the future, when you guys start hearing they kind of getting vague, listen to what they talking about. Are they talking about charges or are they talking about mental illness? That'll tell you right off the rip. Is it charges and who can be prosecuted and what kind of time comes with this? And oh yeah, hey black. Well, with mental illness, and then they'll start going into a whole story of, they'll have a story ready. When all of these mental facilities have closed, there's so many people that got on the street and they run into all of these different other situations. And then they go interview some methed out dude. Yeah, man, I'm out here in the streets. I don't want to be a junkie, but, I also have mental issues, so I get pills from the state, but, it's not really good using, but I don't have a place to be. That's how you'll know the kid is white. You'll hear a whole story, and they'll have taken you all the way away from the actual incident, which was this white woman getting shot in her class. That's how you know. So just in the future, for if y'all ever want to know, like, they ain't saying what they is, listen to how they talking. Oh, that'll be a very quick, clear sign. Listen to how they talking. They talking prosecution and punishment. You better know it. So, America never let you down. No, no, no. America never let you down. So, it wasn't good enough that they got Deja Taylor in prison. They also wanted to see if they could possibly prosecute someone else. And lo and behold, they actually got an answer on that. And the answer was yes. Yes, we can prosecute someone else. A matter of fact, let's do this special unheard of grand jury and let's just see if we can give this other black woman 8 felony charges against children. Like she's a predator. Oh, this is outrageous. Telling you, we are in a I always.
NBC News correspondent Katie Beck joins us now from Newport News on this. Hey, Katie, so we know the school is beefing up security. Tell us about what else they're doing to keep students and.
Okay, they're beefing up security. I'm trying. Okay, there we go. Thank you. All right, there we go.
Staff safe. What's new as they head back to school?
Well, there are obviously those physical security protocols that we've learned about, the metal detectors, the clear backpacks, more security on campus, that kind of thing. But today it was really more focused on making this a smooth transition for the kids and trying to ease them back in a way that made them feel welcome and safe. We had about a dozen officers here lining the way into the school that were shaking hands and giving kids fives and handing out flowers to teachers and students. There's also therapy dogs in every classroom today. Those first graders that were in the classroom when the shooting happened are going to be moved to another classroom that they said has been painted by community members and filled with things from their previous room to sort of create a familiar sense of things. So today is as much about those physical security measures and making parents feel safe as it is about emotional measures as well for the kids so that they're entering school feeling relaxed and not anxious.
Oh, that's so great to hear. Katie.
Wow. Okay, let's hear more.
Also, I know the school board had voted to fire the superintendent, but not without giving him a big payout. Tell us about the leadership shakeup and that severance package.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were surprised at that number. It's 2 times his annual salary paid out over the next 12 months. So over $500,000 is what he'll walk away with, as well as his 15 paid vacation days and any leftover that he might have. So a lot of folks were sort of surprised at that number, but that is in return for not suing the district. That was the arrangement that was made as the board let him go. We also know that the principal and the vice principal here at Richneck Elementary School are no longer in their positions as well. So it's a significant change in leadership, both at the district level and here at this elementary school. And I think a lot of parents are pretty relieved to see that administrative change, hopeful that there'll be a bigger culture shift when it comes to security and also just responding. There were so many opportunities for them to respond in this case, we've been told, and so many threats that had happened prior to this incident that they're hoping some new administrative changes will help that.
Okay, so the subtleties in what she was just saying is when Negroes are in charge and Negroes in charge of disciplining Black children, then we don't feel that they go above and beyond to punish these Black children the way we want them to punish them. So hopefully we will get a culture shift one that possibly looks more like this lady on the left. So everybody's gotten fired. The whole regime is out, right? Okay, they're out on their keisters. They put them out. Well, that wasn't good enough. No.
Breaking
No,
news,
you're not
a new
going to go to
date
rehab.
set
No,
for a
no,
criminal
no.
child neglect case surrounding the 2023 Richneck Elementary School shooting.
Alex Littlehouse is live at the Newport News Courthouse with a new development to this story that grabbed national attention. Alex.
Well, good evening. We now know the next significant date in the fallout of the 2023 Richneck Elementary School shooting. We now know that Dr. Ebony Parker, who was the assistant principal at the time, a 6-year-old, shot his teacher, Abby Zwerner, inside a classroom. That jury trial will now be set for February 19th and 20th of 2025. Now, this comes about.
So it wasn't good enough that you already locked up the mother. Boy, they going above and beyond out here, ain't they? And then the brother that the superintendent, it looked like he couldn't run. Did they pay him off? We gonna do this chick though. 8 charges. 8 felony charges of child neglect. What are we talking about here? And it's child neglect. And remember what it's neglectful for. Because they weren't paying enough attention to protect this grown adult woman who was, for some reason, in a conflict with a 6-year-old child, which no one ever seems to talk about. Instead, see, here's what we're saying. This Black kid is bad. This little Black kid is bad. This little Black kid is bad. And you think he's the first kid that could possibly have been targeted by a racist teacher? I sure in the hell don't. So, I mean, it's very well possible that she was over there tormenting that kid. We don't know. And for some reason, no one seems to ever find out. Go figure.
5 months after a special grand jury found that Dr. Parker ignored multiple warning signs throughout the day about a possible gun being on the school grounds of Richneck Elementary School. Again, this is for those 8 felony neglect child charges, 1 count for each of the bullets reportedly in the student's gun that day. So earlier today, actually just a couple hours ago, we ran into Curtis Rogers. He is Ebony Parker's attorney. He did not take questions as he was walking inside the courthouse. Dr. Parker was not in attendance for this hearing as well. But inside the courtroom, this matter was resolved really in seconds. They did not talk about the pending trial. They did not talk about the facts surrounding this case or that special grand jury report. All they did was set the trial date again for February 19th and 20th of 2025 next year. So again, 5 months after the special grand jury report found that Dr. Parker's lack of response that day was, quote, shocking, according to the investigation. That investigation also called her decision-making that day poor, including the decision to not search the student for a handgun after multiple reports and student claims that lack of action came.
I'm sorry. Since when can you search the children? Can you search him? Now, yes, she definitely should have searched his bag if that was the case. or at least pulled him out of the class. That much should have been done. I would definitely agree. But here's the other thing. Where are these reports of this gun coming from? Because where's the teacher that's having this conflict with this kid? You still have him in your class. Why, if this kid is so much trouble, why is he still in this class? That don't make sense. Something's off. And we are not getting any type of story from this child. Oh, he's just too young and traumatized. Yeah, okay. So you're just going to take the advice of and the word of all of these other individuals, but that's because they wanted the desired outcome. And the desired outcome was to give somebody black some punishment for this white woman being harmed. And that's the bottom line of it. Real cut and dry, very cut and dry.
Less than 20 minutes before the student shot Abby Zwerner. Now, it's also worth pointing out that the principal of Richneck at the time, because remember, Dr. Parker was the assistant principal. Well, the principal does not face a criminal liability in this case because it was found that Dr. Parker did not relay those concerns about the gun to her. So again, a lot of new information coming down just the last half hour. But for now in Newport News, I'm Alex Littlehales for 13 News Now.
All right, thanks so much for that update, Alex. And the 6-year-old boy's mother, Deja Taylor, is currently serving a 2-year sentence for felony child neglect at Western Tidewater Regional Jail.
And she still has a trial for another 2 years. So she's serving 2 years and has another trial for another 2-year sentence. What you think they finna do to this former vice principal? If they'll do that to the mother, oh yeah, and this is just an opportunity to cook these sisters, man. And I don't know what the black folks out there doing. I'm man, how y'all letting this go on is beyond me. There should be a little more to say about this. Breeze Omega in the building. Salute, brother. Thank you for being here, Black First. Yes, indeed. Man. Oof. So, like I said, when you see one of these, and here's the thing. What were they also saying about that? The Marnice girl and the little Kaylee Gang girl, right? Oh, she's over here in a school that's mostly black, in a neighborhood that's mostly black. The demographic of the neighborhood is all black. Of course, something was bound to happen. And then come to find out, that things weren't all as they seemed. I just wonder how different that is from this. I'm just saying, but, I think we have reached that time to turn our attentions to Washington. And like I said, this isn't going to be too long of a broadcast, but I do want to make sure, and that's why I'm doing way more broadcasts than before, because I like to cover more singular topics. But this particular topic is about the SAVE Act. And the very interesting thing about this SAVE Act thing is that Democrats have unanimously, with minus, 5? They've all mostly voted to fight the proof of citizenship. Literally vowed to fight it. And so with it's passed, and I played that on the intro of my last broadcast. Yes, let's see what we got here. Let me get that in here real quick. And, Joe Biden letting folks know how he feel. So he's already saying how he gonna veto it if it come to him. Okay. So here's the ruling, and if you can see the votes, check it out.
Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? On this vote, the yeas are 221, the nays are 198. The bill is passed. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
So Joe Biden respond. And for those who don't know, the SAFE Act is it is a voting act, mind you, to ensure that only citizens are voting. Now, the Democrats, and this is actually making people, I think you should think about the John Lewis Voter Rights Act at this point. Why are all of these Democrats against the proof of citizenship for voting? And they're talking about the John Lewis Act. So maybe that's the problem, that they couldn't get that through, is because people saw the red herring there. This is about getting illegals the right to vote. That's what this is about. So, Executive Office of the President, Office of Management and Budget, Washington, D.C., Statement of Administration Policy, H.R. 8281, Safeguard America Vote Eligibility Act. The administration strongly opposes H.R. 8281, the Safeguard America, the SAFE Act. It is already illegal for non-citizens to vote in federal elections, but it's also illegal for people to keep entering this country illegally as well. So to say that means what now? That would have been worthy of something had you would enforce border laws. But we see you ran on open borders. You've shown that you wanted open borders. And right now you are fighting to keep open borders. It is a federal crime punishable by prison and fines. But you cannot do that in sanctuary cities. So for these illegals who would illegally vote, where's the punishment coming from in Chicago? Where's the punishment coming from here in Portland, up in Seattle, out there in New York? Where's the punishment coming from? The alleged justification for the bill is based on easily disproven falsehoods. Additionally, making a false claim of citizenship or unlawfully voting in an election is punishable by removal from the United States and a permanent bar to admission. Well, here's again the problem in sanctuary cities and in your Dreamers Act. There's two roadblocks for any removal or banning, unless you come from Haiti. States already have effective safeguards in place to verify voters' eligibility and maintain the accuracy of voter rolls. The bill would do nothing to safeguard our elections, but it would make it much harder for all eligible Americans to register to vote and increase the risk that eligible voters are purged from voter rolls. The evidence is clear that the current laws to prevent non-citizen voting are working as intended. It is extraordinarily rare for non-citizens to break the law. by voting in federal elections. Do you really believe that part, though? I don't think I do. The president has been clear. He will continue fighting to protect Americans' sacred right to vote in free, fair, and secure elections, including by calling on Congress to pass the John R. Lewis Voting Right Advancement Act and the Freedom to Vote Act. Do you know what's so funny about that particular statement? That literally is verbatim what one of those clips coming from Shay Pierre. This is something she said. Like, absolutely just a copy and paste. She literally said the exact same thing at a White House daily briefing. Look, the president has been clear. He will continue fighting to protect America's sacred right to vote in free, fair, and secure elections. Y'all remember that. Y'all watched that right here on this broadcast. And they just put this out here, copied and pasted Shay Pierre's little line from a White House briefing from a few months ago and put that right on here as a whole sentence. How lazy. How incredibly lazy is that? Anyway, wow. Whoever's running the DNC right now needs to be fired. I'm just saying. If House Republicans really want to do something about securing our border and fixing our broken immigration system, they should vote on the border deal that the president negotiated with a bipartisan group of senators. This would provide immigration officials the resources they need to do their jobs and to be the toughest and fairest set set of reforms to secure the border that we have seen in decades. Okay, both of these lines are Shay Pierre from like a couple months ago. And all you did was copy and paste on July 8th? It doesn't make these people are nuts. I mean, it's amazing the way they're trying to phone it in. And the rest of the world is screaming at them, saying, you are failing miserably. No, we're not. I don't care if this man is like Lazarus coming out the tomb. Y'all are outrageous. It is not our responsibility for a candidate. It's the candidate's responsibility to the people. And the way these folks is talking is like, man, you guys done turned your backs on our master. What's wrong? Like, look at D.L. Hughley. What's wrong with you, George Clooney? How you gonna be talking about the boss like that? I mean, master been good to me, and you gonna mess up all my good butter biscuits. Now, it's you's white people, and so you's gonna be good. But I tell you what, that Project 2025, oh, good Lord, it's just gonna mess with people. It's gonna mostly affect people of color. Now, the reason why they're saying it's going to widely affect people of color, these are the people of color to whom they refer to. Not us. Because Project 2025 promotes mass deportations. And then they keep throwing out there, they're going to have a nationwide ban on abortion. Man has said many a times that he's leaving it up to states. Well, in the southern states, there's women that are dying every day because of their irresponsibility law breaking. Don't tell me about the law and then tell me about how women are dying breaking it. Go set up Planned Parenthood on the border. Had every American sitting up here in masks, lined up like guinea pigs going up here getting this devil's juice. And the fact that I had to sit up here and look at so many black folks. You ain't learned who these people are by now? Man, oh, that conspiracy theory stuff. What are you talking about? 400 years of slavery, oppression, Jim Crow. And all of a sudden, you thinking the 20,000, oh, they love us. Man, there's so many of us dying out here. How many of your family members do you know passed away from that? I know more people that passed away trying to so-called prevent it. Oh, yeah. Know way more of them personally. Falling out. Sudden heart attacks. The D.L. Hughley, boy, he gonna die on that hill, ain't he? Oh, man, there's so many people died, man. See, the orange man, he fool, because that's his calling card. So many people died, man, all them black people that died. That's how it affected us. No, DL, that is not true. They love lying because that's where they're at now. There's nothing, nowhere else to go. All else has failed at this point. So, only option is to lie. So, let's talk about this Save That. These folks want to have illegal, and we've been talking about this for a while. Remember when they were talking about how people were the replacement theory? The replacement theory is, yes, a white supremacist ideology. But the replacement theory action does not mean just because it is their thought about themselves. That don't mean that them tactics can't be applied to black folk. That would be absolutely foolish and unwise to think. Hell yes, the replacement is on. Now, what are you talking about? All of these folks, now they're trying to mask preventing illegals from not voting as it's some kind of benefit to us when they're already telling us and the world that we're a voter base. What eligibility of registration do we need if we've already proven to be registered as a base? But they'll tell you this all day, but it makes no sense because you're going off of polls. They're not using polls of people who ain't registered. So all of this talk about no, they are blatantly trying to make sure illegals have the right to vote. And they just told you a bunch of lies while telling you that the Republicans who drawn this up are lying. Falsehoods. Here's the truth. You're not going to prosecute anybody in Portland, Oregon for voting illegally while being an illegal. I know that. Washington, Seattle, New York, all of them immigrants in Chicago, none of them is going to get prosecuted and deported. Not for voting. It's a federal thing, right? And you are the government. So your protection of being sanctuary supersedes all. What are you going to do now? Crap on your own law? That makes a lot of sense. The guy that actually flooded our borders with these illegals is now going to do something about it? How does that make sense? And so what you guys need to do is vote for Joe Biden. They don't know. The world has woken up. And obviously people over at the DNC have not caught on. Now here's the other issue. Like the saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. In this case, mass deportation is absolutely a ear tugger, especially when this is Joe Biden's move.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
Okay. Now, for those of you who are just now tuning in, you might not have seen the video I played at the very beginning, but let me go ahead and just reiterate to you what we're looking at as a presidential candidate.
Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president.
1 out of 100 of those illegal aliens voted. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of votes being cast. And remember,
There's even a bigger influx now in terms of Hispanic voters or Hispanic citizens who want to become citizens.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there. Number one. The fact is that the consideration is...
I looked at the press conference last night and said, where are the black reporters? I mean, we're looking at all whites questioning Biden, and black voters supposed to just get in line. So I think that a lot of the people that are stepping out there are taking things for granted.
We're riding with Biden. We're riding with Biden.
The Republicans...
We are riding with Biden.
Was there conversation about Vice President?
We are riding with Biden.
Was there conversation about Vice President Kamala Harris in there?
We are riding with Biden.
We're riding with Biden. We're riding with Biden. Riding with Biden. Well, of course. And he's the whip, so he's supposed to say that until... And that's why they're all saying, you know, hey, Joe, give us the word. And Joe Biden isn't giving it up. Plain and simple. He's willing to let the entire Democratic Party and entire ticket go down in flames. Look at all of these other folks. Maxine Waters and all. They're willing to die in these seats. What's the other lady? Feinstein. Yeah, I mean, these people are literally dying on the job, man. And Maxine Waters, like the other day, hell, I'm older than he is. Ooh, that sounds a lot better. These people over here pride themselves in being old. And I mean, yes, you should have pride in being old, but you should be retired, enjoying life and grandkids. Not trying to, here's the other thing. Okay, you're almost 90 years old. Why is abortion so important to you? That makes no sense to me. Yeah, y'all notice that? It's a bunch of post-menopausal women, the loudest women screaming, abortion, we need abortions. Really? Okay. And look at old Maxine Waters, and she looks distracted in this little clip.
Through his presidency, they've also seen former President Trump. They've lived through his presidency. They've heard these arguments about democracy, about the fate of the election, and yet Trump is not only winning, but winning increasingly by a larger margin. So what is the plan among Democrats to change that trajectory? It sounds like you're talking about saying and doing all the same things, but do you believe that something needs to change?
I think we need to keep working.
She's up there fixing on her wig. What's wrong with her? To you in the building. Salute to you, my good sister. Good to see you as always. Yes, indeed. Thank you for being here, Black First, and being a moderator. Mugina's in the building. Salute to you. He talking to them like Massa giving out orders to slave. Yes. Start the day in the plantation. They dumbass right there and letting it. Yes, absolutely. And it's ridiculous. Thank you for being here as well. Black first. And DSM Sinister. I bet I beat Medicare. Oh, he's off the rails. Man. Yes, indeed. And salute to you for being here. Black first. I beat Medicare. Yeah. He did a horrible job and Trump ate his ass alive, man. I don't understand what the problem is. He got lit up. And it's hard for them to accept. Some chick named Star, salute to you. Thank you for being here as well as your Cash App donation. I appreciate that. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours. Thank you for being here. Black first, sister. Man, this is crazy. Tether wig. Yeah, you know, and I think my Maxine Waters, I think she's one of our homegrown mammies. Mark by Smith. That's embarrassing. Absolutely. Thank you for being here as well. So let's run down the line of these Democrat individuals that are going to give you their reasoning that illegals shouldn't be blocked from voting. Because that's what this law is about. It's about blocking the illegals. But let's hear them spin it and just make it about Republicans want this and extreme MAGA Republican that and extreme MAGA Republican that.
For Republicans is for them to lay the groundwork to undermine the outcome of the presidential election just as they did 4 years ago, just as they will again and again until they realize either the futility of this exercise or the republic crumbles. I pray for the former. Democrats.
Oh, Lord.
The presidential
representatives. Only citizens can vote for the United States Senate. Only citizens can vote for the presidency of the United States. So this extreme MAGA Republican voter suppression bill is not designed to solve any problem on behalf of the American people. It is designed to jam people up and prevent Americans from voting. The extreme MAGA Republican voter suppression
I did not realize my mic was muted. Okay. So, extreme MAGA Republicans. Extreme MAGA Republicans. He said, Mr. Zombie. I'll say this. That's exactly why I call him Frankenstein. Extreme MAGA Republicans. Lord. And so, with Hakeem Jeffries, you know, he's the minority leader. They still over here doing interviews with Nancy Pelosi, though. Should be this guy, but he, like I said, he's so mechanical that these MAGA Republicans and these extreme MAGA Republicans, it's like he's trying to program you with some kind of talking point, and it's not working. It's not sticking. And, you know, well, the illegals already can't vote. Illegals shouldn't be here illegally, but they're here. So what's to say that they ain't going to vote for their interests illegally? They're coming here committing other crimes, whether it be state, county, or federal. They still committing crimes. So criminal element is a criminal element. That doesn't go away. And now, see, remember when they was talking about Trump, and I ain't caping for Trump, but let's remember, we are getting some deplorables here. we are getting some of these people that probably got set out of prison because you got a whole, how do we have a Venezuelan gang just roaming the country? Hey, hermano, it is on and popping in America. You got to come up and you got to bring me, yeah, oh.
And to advance it. John Lewis didn't give up, and neither will we. Mr. Speaker, House Republicans' so-called SAVE Act is a dangerous anti-democratic bill that has no place on this floor. It is for that reason that at the appropriate time, I will be offering a motion to recommit this bill back to the committee. I urge my colleagues to join me in supporting the motion to recommit. Thank you, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Mr. Speaker, may I make an inquiry as to the amount of time we have remaining on our side?
She represents Alabama. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt that she is a descendant of the freedmen, foundational Black American, descendants of slaves here in America. But that wig is really giving tether. Maybe it's just me. That wig is really giving tether. I'm just saying. But let's hear her throw John. I want to hear this again. I want to hear her throw John Lewis out there.
And to advance it. John Lewis didn't give up, and neither will we.
This is the man, the whom you speak, who said, when I got my brains bashed in, beat bloody on that bridge in Selma, I told that cop that beat me, thank you for your service. We were getting in good trouble then, and we's going to get in good trouble now. This is what the sellout class looks like, ladies and gentlemen, and they are the baby boomers, the absolute
to investigate
failures. And then we have the doctors. Now, here's the other thing. We got these people who come out over here, use the Black and Brown Coalition to get their thing on and popping. They end up getting into office. And now all of a sudden they advocates for something that we ain't advocates for. And it benefits them and their numbers. And not only that, they are black and brown when it's convenient, but they are politically white.
Investigate claims of voter fraud by non-citizens was disbanded without identifying one single case. If we believe in the power of democracy, we should reject discriminatory rules rooted in fear and division and instead increase protections and expand access. This bill, they call it the SAVE Act. It should be called the Don't Let Americans Act. Don't Let Americans Vote Act. And so I rise here opposing and asking my colleagues to vote no on this bill. I yield.
Yeah. And that's the Black and Brown Coalition working, ladies and gentlemen, right there. And we have yet another. Hold on, we're gonna
hypotheticals.
Let's roll through these hypotheticals. Oh, a hypothetical is democracy ending if Joe Biden doesn't get back in office. There's a big hypothetical that consistently gets thrown out there. But nonetheless, let's hear the capers, the caper caucus The everybody else caper caucus, they're not the black caucus. That's for definitely sure.
Hypotheticals. It is under attack right now, right here with this very bill. Republicans want to throw up barriers because when people vote, they lose. Let me be clear. They don't want you to vote. They don't want to hear Black voices, brown voices, LGBTQIA voices, young voices. Our fundamental access to our democracy is being politicized. And this xenophobic attack that we're debating today will make it harder for Americans to vote. My Republican colleagues will claim that requiring IDs is a small ask, but nearly 30 million people lack a valid driver's license. And about 15 to 18 million adults don't have access to documents proving their birth or citizenship.
So then none of these people work in America. And then that also would mean they're not taxpayers. So just how are they in this country legally and citizens? Oh yeah, there's that other thing that, where you turn 18, that, they still make sure you do that. So even when you're going to get your ID, you're enlisted to social service. So what they talking about? If Uncle Sam can come get me and say, put on this camouflage and go shoot at who I tell you to, then how all of a sudden would it be hard for the exact same person to cast a ballot? That's very interesting. See, the things they keep saying just don't make sense. That's why I'm like, I guess they figure if they beat this drum into your skull, you'll start rationalizing this nonsense. But you guys is just way too, you're past all of their little tricks. Your understanding of their game, you guys can see them coming from a mile away. And it's almost watching a desperate attempt to pull out all the stops and tricks they know versus having to abandon ship. But listen to where we are. We are in a predicament to where all of this time you knew that the Democrats had a nominee. Their nominee is going to be Joe Biden. Joe Biden is our guy. We're not even going to entertain a primary. And going into your convention just months before the election, you ain't certain on who your candidate will be. I have said it before. I will say it again. Y'all gonna have to cut the check, or everybody's gonna be uncomfortable. And you see how all of the shills over here worried, oh no, y'all, man, they gonna just, y'all want to take sledgehammers to tear the whole house down. How is aspiring to be a cog in the wheel of this system worked out for you and yours? Some of you may fare out better than others. One thing about the biblical story of Moses, and I think, not enough people have entertained the actual point of the story because they hear religion and get stupid. So they then shut off their ears from listening to any type of message, which again is self-sabotage. But the message is, Moses always knew the people to whom he came from. Now, he was able to be, because of circumstance, put into a better position. So much so that he actually lived in the palace. So he was even in a station above the average citizen. So imagine somebody who is basically the family friend of Prince William and Prince Harry and the royal families. So you just know these people, they are fixtures here. They're a high societal family friend and a national value. Well, Moses, being in this predicament and in this situation, said, okay, I got mine. And, I'm well off. But he never lost who he was. Here's where Moses separates from a lot of these people now, especially all of these people who like to invoke his name. Moses, having had the finest things in life, saw one of the people from his bloodline being done wrong by the people to whom he is a station above of their citizenship. So here's one of the, let's say, lowly subject commoners over here beating one of his countrymen to death, almost to death. Well, instead of letting this man, because this man clearly was in a better social status than this little Negro over here, Moses decided, I'm not finna let bro go out like that. And he ended up killing the foreigner. And he had to go on the run. And that's how he ended up doing what he did. But that's the beginning of his story. You know what the point of that story I just said was? No one had to tell him to raise up for his blood. Even being with the family and the royal family, none of it was worth it. There are too many people out here that really haven't put themselves to that gut check. Most of all these do-nothing politicians that people want us to sit up here and believe in. Will these people be willing to speak on behalf of Black people from these podiums? Like they are up here speaking against Black people for the light of the agenda of benign neglect. We are not them, they ain't us. And like they say, all skin folk ain't kin folk, and these folks may even be the descendants of our ancestors. But these folks cannot be philosophized, and let me tell you, some of them have got to go to sleep. Good.
But I'm telling you, as a psychologist, I'm not going to be able to psychologize all of them on the corner. Some of them going to sleep for good. But I'm
telling you,
Americans don't need more obstacles. It's already hard enough. That's why I'm proud.
Then, one obstacle that would, finance and health, two things that could help health and finance and safety is reparations. Yeah, reparations, cash payment, reparations. Seems like a stellar winning idea to me. If you really desire to help Black folks like they say they do. Because this will negatively harm people of color. Yeah, see, that don't mean us. And I hope y'all are understanding the people of color line, because they keep coming out here like, listen to D.L. Hughley, because D.L. Hughley tied to that boule. So listen to the verbiage that he's using, because you just saw Kamala Harris over there at the boule giving out the marching orders. So you got all of these talented tink Negroes that's going to come out the window. Project 2025. Project 2025. Oh my God. Oh, it's going to adversely affect us. And that Trump, he's something else. Boy, I tell you, we got to be worried about this Trump, man. He going to get us. Man, it's like Jim Crow.
This bill is essentially a poll tax because I am not aware of a single proof of citizenship document that does not cost an individual money to get it, unless we are requiring every state to provide one for free, and then it's an unfunded mandate. This is the 2024 version of the Jim Crow poll tax, and we should vote against it.
Jim Crow, huh? Nah. No. Just no. So let's see, where's this guy at? Okay, so these speeches here. Yeah, we go. Because I knew I had some more. Okay, we got. I think I'll do these. I guess I got 4. So let's get old Frankenstein out the way. We got to play this, but let's hear him again.
Candidates. Only citizens can vote for the United States Senate. Only citizens.
And I did, because with this MAGA Republican. That's right, I played it on it. So let me do this. Because there's a couple more. Now this is the one brother, the Republican cat from Texas. I can't remember this dude's name. he kind of cracked me up. Yeah, he low key cool
Thank you,
too.
Mr. Speaker. I rise today in support of H.R. 8281, the SAVE Act. For years, Democrats have called Republicans conspiracy theorists for stating Democrats want illegal aliens to vote in our elections, yet President Biden and every single Democrat in Washington want this bill to fail. If Biden and the Democrats would to clear up this conspiracy theory, Mr. President, when this bill passes, make sure you sign it into law. And on another note, I've been black for my entire life. I like to bring up the most racist thing I've ever heard is the insinuation by Democrats that black and brown Americans are too stupid to get an ID to vote, just like everybody else. I call this the soft bigotry of low expectations. Figuring out how to vote in this country is a very low bar, and we can all figure it out regardless of your race, religion, color, or creed, and we should all want free and fair elections. With me today, I'm not going to pull mine out this time, but I have 6 forms of government issue ID. How did I acquire that? Personal responsibility in this country. I've also heard a lot about Jim Crow here today. I'm here to tell you Jim Crow is over, and I know it because my parents grew up in it. And I think it's actually insulting to those that actually experienced the ills of Jim Crow. Having an ID to vote in our national elections should be a requirement, which is why I stand before you today urging my colleagues on the left to support this bill. If you want secure elections, if you want your vote to count, vote for the SAVE Act and yield back the rest of my time.
Can't be mad at that. Can't be mad at that at all. But there's this the last one I want to play, which is this well, I'm not sure where this white man is from. Not certain where this guy is from, but he drops some very
Citizen,
interesting
one
stuff.
vote. Today, this foundational principle is under attack. It's under attack because President Biden refuses to enforce the law. And now we face a direct threat to our entire electoral system. Consider this. Since President Biden's inauguration on January 20th, 2021, over 10 million illegal immigrants have entered the United States. Now, this figure exceeds the population
10 million. That's treasonous. And you want to vote for a senile, treasonous old man like this, telling yourself, well, the Democrats say that this is a good thing. 10 million illegal people. That's high treason. What are you doing? Subsequently, and all you patriotic Americans out there, where the hell are you? Out of my cold dead hands. Really? The best you guys could do is find a bunch of cops and feds to dress up like supremacists and start marching around with American flags and looking like idiots. Where are these real militia cats at? Ain't this what y'all keep talking about? How y'all let 10 million folks come up in here? All that standing for the flag. 10 million illegals? We're going to uphold the Constitution, brother. No, really? 10 million. Proud Boys? January 6ers? 10 million. Now, I'm also going to say this, folks. These people talk about this race war, huh? Y'all still scared of these people? Because I mean, you know what they do when they get mad. I see 10 million illegal folks coming over here and they ain't doing shit. What about that? I better stop walking out here trying to explain things to these folks. I'm telling you. This is the proof in the pudding. You will not replace us. 10 million, you ain't did nothing. Tough guys, get out here. All these, you got the Ryan Garcias out here. I'll be part of the KKK. Shut y'all asses up. You can't even get down to this border and get the people out your own city. Shut up. Cowards. You sitting over here doing just what they want y'all to do. Maybe we go ahead and get us one of them and get us a wife. A bunch of fake patriot incels. Hope y'all see these folks for who they really are. I see this every day. I know they cowards. I live here in Valhalla. You don't see too many people out here do what I do. You don't see many. How many folks from the Pacific Northwest do you see out here doing videos like this? I'm just saying, because a lot of people don't want to ruffle folks' feathers. Stand on truth and be who you are. I deal with everybody, but I'm still going to be about my business first. And my business is about my folks. At the same time, I live in a state to where part of the state wants to succeed, to move into Idaho, and everybody talking about protecting the border. But you got all these militia groups, and Oregon is hugely populated. And ain't nobody trying to ride down here and handle this. Say, we'll take over for the government since it's tyranny and all of this, and they're invading our lands and blah, blah, blah. Don't you ever let these folks talk about what about the black problem. You shut your bitch ass up. Don't you talk on us. And I hope that you guys start moving in that energy and vein, because I want you all to see. And so like the D.L. Hugleys and all that cowardly lion talk, we're not the cowardly lion crowd. We real lions and we on our 4 feet. We're not going to sit up here and just be, oh, they're going to come through. They're going to put us back in chains. Oh, you're ready to go, huh? I wish, man, the fact that black folks even entertain that type of conversation is treasonous. To be quite honest. Man, they're going to put us back in chains. What the? Are you saying? No. No, I'll be one of those in the sea. The hell? The fight is not in everybody. A lot of these folks got that bark. ain't been tested. Some of us have. I'm a tried and true one out here. People don't worry me. Like, there's going to be crazy folks everywhere, but how I be seeing folks really is terrified of, man, there's too many white people in this and that. Do you understand the power to which you possess? There's a reason why Dr. Claude Anderson tells you you are an exceptional people. And they don't want 4 or 5 of you gathering in one spot, talking about basketball or whatever the hell you're talking about. They are worried. You can see 20 or 30 of them and probably not even think twice. They see 5 of us. There's a suspicious gathering out here. I think they might be a gang. Y'all could have Bibles in your hand. They'll be calling the police on you. So when you see Democrats trying to scare you and these shields out here trying to scare you into, man, democracy is almost over. 10 million invaders. When you could have simply left those laws in place and concentrated on healing American citizens, especially the people to whom you said their back you had, which now, of course, we see the only back you had was a knife in that back. And these are the chickens coming home to roost. What other talking heads and pundits want us now to do is to fold our belief and our stance and just say, well, one more time, we'll see. No, baby, like Michael Jackson, this is it. And let the chips fall where they may. Shout out to all of you. Double honors to every last one of you in this fight. Because the world is changing. All because of the black grassroots.
Of 36 states, creating a crisis that has been met with troubling silence and inaction from far too many on the other side of the aisle. With millions of unauthorized people now on U.S. soil, living here in the United States, the potential for election fraud through ineligible voting is not just a hypothetical risk. No, it is a looming reality. With the influx of non-citizens under this administration, even if just a fraction, let's just say something like 1 in 100 were to vote, this could translate to hundreds of thousands of votes, enough to sway our tightly contested elections and potentially alter their outcomes. This is deeply concerning.
Yeah. And here's the thing. And I'm going to skip through this. I just wanted him to get his intro because he said something very powerful later on in this speech. I'm not playing the whole thing. But I had to play this because he's dropping he's just reading the facts. This isn't MSNBC fluff. This isn't Fox News fluff. This is just straight up law. He's giving you a fraction of the number. We're talking 10 million voters illegally in this country voting against the interests of foundational Black Americans. Are you insane? Right off the rip, your vote should be for the other guy. It's sad enough to say, but hey, man, either I'm voting for the couch or I'm voting for nothing. Or I'm voting for this other dude. Because one thing I can say is all right with me. Mass deportations. 10 million people. You can't possibly know who you brought into this country. Man, I'm telling you, fire up the jet. fire up the jet. 10 million people, that's insane. Right after a pandemic, right after a shutdown, you're destroying this country. No, man. And then you got foundational Black Americans, two rallies and a couple other scraggler rallies for reparations right there in D.C. See my brother Black Alpha in the building. Salute my brother Black Alpha. Yeah, there he is. Salute my good brother Black Alpha Network in the building. What's going on, my brother? Black first as always, man. And you know, I got a chance to tap into your space for a hot second. And man, you know, of course, my brother's always gassing. You know, it just made me think, man, the way that these people are trying to force fear. They're literally trying to force fear, but it's given the effect of like something hitting a brick wall because no one's biting and no one's budging. And shout out and salute to you, brother, for having that space too. Because here's the other thing. Like with Tariq Spaces and all of these other spaces that's going on out there, do you understand? These folks have, they crumble at every conversation they have to listen to. Because you are the source of change. And they have to listen to it. It doesn't even have to be me on this mic. It ain't gotta be none of us on no camera. They can sit up there, just tap into you and hear the people. You hear the host, you hear all these other folks. These are the votes that y'all want and the votes that y'all need. And now we have, with the numbers in our face, the Democrats actively trying to fight against Black America. Because if you're voting against these laws, this one is very simple. And I don't see why it makes me wonder that John Lewis Voters' Rights Act, because we always hear John Lewis, and maybe we needed to take a better look at that law. Because it's like, why was it consistently getting rejected? We already have voter rights. So was it really about us? And now we seeing, no, it was not. Not about us at all. It's about 10 million illegals. 10 freaking million. That number is outrageous. I can't get over that. 10 million people.
Considering that a recent study
How
showed
many are
that
criminals and terrorists?
non-citizens have ample openings to vote illegally. It found that anywhere from 10 to 27% of non-citizens are registered to vote, and 5 to 13% of non-citizens do actually vote in presidential elections, no less. Across the nation, instances abound where states have inadvertently facilitated this very crisis. From unsolicited voter registration forms being mailed out to non-citizens, to driver's licenses issued without adequate checks, practices relying merely on the honesty of illegal aliens have opened up the floodgates to voter fraud. While it's true that it's already illegal for non-citizens to vote in federal elections, there are no effective systems in place to verify the citizenship of voters. A mere check on a box is all it takes, with little risk of being caught. In short,
but they talking about falsehoods, right? What a falsehood. This is a Democratic setup. There's no way around this. This is absolutely warring against Black America. There's no way around it. If there is, I would love to hear somebody try to spin this. No, sir. And listen to the states. He's talking about the different states. So now, all of a sudden, state rights make sense. Sanctuary city protection. So funnel these people here. Again, that also could look like a two-winged conspiracy as well, because we're busing from Texas, a place that probably would fund deporting, and we're busing them from Texas to a sanctuary city. Now, we say you wanted to be a sanctuary city, good. But in the long run, what does that actually look like and turn into? So again, are we getting worked on both ends? Kind of feels that way, because we get stroked, we get the con, we get the 3-card Monty. Ooh, I think I know where the ball is. Texas, they finna deport and they gonna feel this. And in all actuality, them busing folks to Chicago and New York, you bust them people straight to protection. Damn, I thought it was under this card. That's a cold okie doke. That is a cold okie doke. Oh man. So I'm just saying, when we're getting into this crunch time, we have to be aware of it all from both sides, because this feels like two sides playing against it. Because remember, number one agenda in America is black folks are always supposed to be on the bottom. Whether it be Democrat, whether it be Republican, whether you be independent, as long as you are subscribing to this world's thinking and this system's belief, then we are meant to be on the bottom. We are the foundation of capitalism. Because the capitalism and all this stock couldn't exist without us in the first place. It took us to build it. Why do you think they're so desperate to keep us on the bottom? We are disturbing an ecosystem that has been in place for centuries, and rightfully so. Other people have natural disasters. Some people raise up. Kind of looking like we're in the situation in the times of both. I did a broadcast a while back talking about the harvest is right, letting you know America sits with 173 live volcanoes. 173 volcanoes. Also something a person told me earlier this week is, I guess there's been a study that a lot of Caucasian males especially, often think of Rome and like ancient Rome. And it made me think, I could see why they do. They think of ancient Rome. Well, I guess I could probably think of the Byzantine era. And that one era the Pan-African folks don't like to talk about that much. They're upset right now about Hannibal, right? You ain't hearing the Pan-African crowd coming out screaming for Hannibal. Oh, Hannibal wasn't. Yeah, because Hannibal didn't claim African. He's from Africa. What was Hannibal? Well, Hannibal was a Moor. It's one of those, the people who some Moors descended from. But of course, we wouldn't be able to call that Africa anyway, because I don't believe that was the name of that land at the time in the first place. But, that Battle of Carthage, if you look at some of the way they depict Hannibal, Hannibal is only black when he's losing. So if you look at historical accounts, how they depict him, throughout all of his greatness and conquering and all of this, he's definitely a white man. But somehow when he's on his last battle of losing and things are going awry, all of a sudden, he turns into a very dark-skinned man. It's just funny how things work that way. Oh, now he's African, for real. There's a reason why these people think of Rome. What's something else that went on in Rome? Like I say, we talk about that Gladiator movie. We being the entertainment. Our what's being in our lives being in danger, our mutilation, our being eaten by a tiger in front of them. And you wonder why they think of Rome.
You're on the honor system with those forms.
I'm just saying.
Federal law even prohibits states from requiring proof of citizenship.
Right.
And registering voters via federal forms.
DACA.
So it's not just this, that the states aren't doing an adequate job of verifying citizenship as a condition precedent to registering to a vote in a federal election. They're prohibited by law from doing so. An increasing number of localities permit non-citizens to vote in local elections. And this makes it even worse. It further blurs the distinctions that have historically been meant to protect the integrity of our elections.
Okay. Now, let me see. I think, let me get around here. Okay, yeah.
Non-citizens, whether legally or illegally in this country at the time, can easily obtain a voter registration, eligibility to vote in federal elections, or the physical ability to do it, rather, so long as they're willing to check a box and sign their name. They don't dispute the fact that in all 50 states and D.C., a non-citizen can apply for and receive a driver's license, or that the National Voter Registration Act makes it easy when applying for a driver's license to check a box and sign your name and thereby register to vote in federal elections. When you add to that the fact that states are affirmatively legally prohibited based on the Supreme Court's interpretation of the NVRA a few years ago, saying that the states cannot, may not, must not ask for any kind of documentation to verify citizenship, we've got a problem. So for them to say,
the hell we do. Yes, we do. Yes, sir, we do. So, okay. Now we walk that down. Any Democrat shield coming to you now to try to sell you a bill of goods that this is not actually a war against us and you're using another group, oh, we don't need to step in and save that. Hell no. Oh, no. We not finishing up here and aid you dogging us. Think about the video some of us play. I know my brother Alpha plays it. I played it. I think Gravity, a few of us have played it. Look, they asked Joe Biden. So now the conversation's about reparations. Do you anything you want to say to Black America and the descendants of slavery? And he immediately opens his mouth to say immigrants built this country. To a question about the descendants of slaves. And he immediately starts talking about immigrants. So again, this is who this guy is. He's always been that. Now, with that being said, let me go to it because we got to watch. There's one more part that's really funny because this is going to be y'all's moment to shine, family. And I'm telling you, boy, you go ahead and pat yourselves on the back for this next one here. This is y'all. Team Shook. I'm coming on play. Right, let's get it cracking. Waiting for it to play. Wow, what happened here? Okay, here, let me get this back in here. Okay. Error has occurred. Clearly an error has occurred. Let me get back over here. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, wow. What's going on here? All of a sudden, the video ain't trying to play. If we're going to do that, we're going to do that. That's okay. Bear with me 1 second. If I had to play the audio on my phone, I've done it before. And I will do so right now. Okay, so I'm going to have to do it.
Kind of tipped off in a New York Post that recently ran, this opinion piece, by longtime Fox Business correspondent Charles Gasparino. America soon may be subjected to the country's first DEI president. Going on to complain about the sitting vice president, quote, maybe the most impressively fatuous politician in America, may become the leader of the free world because the Democratic Party is unable to break its DEI stranglehold. In front of the cameras, the obvious racism has been even worse.
Do these donors really?
No, let me go back a little bit. There's something that you ought to hear this.
Faces American life behind a campaign against DEI, diversity, equity, and
oh no.
It is also revealing their unified project. Beyond destroying Kamala Harris, the conservative movement increasingly is committed to purging women, minorities,
particularly. Wait, okay. I mean, but just right? No, it's not.
Leads Trump 49-46, while Biden is behind 46-47, although we should note that's all right around the margin of error. Donald Trump seems to believe that Harris could be a real threat. The New York Times reports his team is planning to go after her at the Republican convention next week, working more attacks into the speeches and messaging. Trump's conservative allies are also ramping up their attacks on the first female vice president, a woman of Indian and Jamaican descent. Also ramping up their attacks on the first female vice president, a woman of Indian and Jamaican descent.
Woman of what? Woman of who now? Again, as I opened up this broadcast, as I was talking to Black Spider, I mentioned the fact that Melanin at Sea, the Black cruising group, which the founders of Melanin at Sea are a Blendian family. So a foundational Black American woman and a Trinidadian Indian man. That's the family. So he's a Triniman, meaning Caribbean Indian. There's Jamaican Indians. There's Jamaican Chinese. So they try to play this little game with Black folks, and because, you know, a lot of Black Americans have not traveled. So playing on the ignorance of not being traveled, just, oh, well, Jamaica means Black. No, it does not. So notice what they didn't say. They're talking about ramping up sexist and racist attacks. You're talking about now making her the main nominee, and just like that, they dropped the word Black. In a flash, like a hot potato. Whoa. We ain't gonna be using that word again. Oh man, it's sexist. It's women, and women.
Trump's conservative allies are also ramping up their attacks on the first female vice president, a woman of Indian and Jamaican descent. And the rhetoric is, well, it's gross and getting worse. It is also revealing their unified project. Beyond destroying Kamala Harris, the conservative movement increasingly is committed to purging women, minorities, particularly black folks, from.
No, but wait. Why did we just throw black back in there? See, yeah, you kind of lost it when you went into the Indian Jamaican part. Where are we at? Oh, we're not. See the separation? And like I said, I'm from the West Coast, especially Pacific Northwest, where you see a lot of Indians. There's a lot of Indians in Vancouver, Canada, and a lot of them that wanted to have dual citizenship have lived in America, maybe came down as far as Portland, go to school, and then go back up to Canada. Some of these people have triple citizenships. And up in Seattle, they allow their caste system to totally play, because they got a whole system within their community that legally wise here in America would be considered discrimination. But they let that ride. That's their thing. If you are born of this particular group, you don't go up here to the upper echelon. They ain't gonna never pick you up there. Oh, no. That ain't what they do over there. But I also wanted to say that these people will, if they can pass for black, oh, they will. That's not new. So Kamala Harris doing that, and that's not new. Especially out here. You will absolutely run into some of these Indians playing black. And especially because thanks again, shout out to the Pan-African Squad, because for them, they sell that line that everybody with black skin is black. Look at them Indians, they black. Them Indians be like, thanks, you dumb niggas. Thanks for the hustle. Woohoo! Thanks, you supported my con. Got all these Hindus over here at Howard University. How that makes sense? Over here taking advantage of scholarships that are meant for black folks, posing as black people, and then turn right back around and be like, sister girl, yeah, I'm going to go help my people now. Yeah, this woman ain't cool. So just that quick, they're testing the waters, running out how people are feeling about Kamala Harris and the media. Now, he makes a reference to black women, but not in relation to her.
Positions of power in American life. And they've been hiding that real agenda to essentially resegregate the highest spaces of American life behind a campaign against DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives.
Interesting. So they're hiding it. So DIE initiatives and departments, because all of those have been front loaded with gender politics. Us, the underserved, the over-targeted, and the long owed and indebted to people, we always have to have our situation lumped in with something. And then we don't want this. We aren't no DIE situation or DEI situation. I see DIE, just die. DEI. And that's just simple truth of the matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not our bag. Other thing is abortion. That is not our big agenda issue. Voting rights, we already got rights because you want us to vote for you and not vote for the couch. So clearly we got rights to vote. Makes no sense to make that argument. We are saying no tangibles, no vote. No black agenda, no vote. And now this This woman who already told you she wouldn't do anything just for black people. No! Has now officially, because that's no accident that MSNBC is talking about Jamaican Indian. Oh, that's no mistake. That's a Kamala Harris team thing. And they done got to wear all them shills at MSNBC. Oh, they probably was all on the same phone call about how they was going to roll this out. And just that quick, they knew we can't lead with black.
This was all kind of tipped off in a New York Post that recently ran, this opinion piece, by longtime Fox Business correspondent Charles Gasparino. America soon may be subjected to the country's first DEI president. Going on to complain about the sitting vice president, quote, maybe the most impressively fatuous politician in America, may become the leader of the free world because the Democratic Party is unable to break its DEI stranglehold. In front of the cameras, the obvious racism has been even worse.
Do these donors really think that Kamala Harris is going to do better in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania than Joe Biden would? I mean, that's the because it can't be anybody else, right?
Hey, Rob, you're being logical. Stop it, all right? She's a DEI hire, right? She's a woman. She's colored, therefore she's got to be.
Oh, she's colored. Where's he from? South Africa? Yeah, she's colored. Yeah, good old Newsmax for you. Guess he didn't think that one would be a problem. Well, she's colored. Rick Gilroy, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I needs to be replaced in 2024. Yes, he does. Black first. I appreciate you. Oh, man. I see some people. Let me say, greet y'all. I see y'all. The Church of Black Power in the house. Salute to you. Thank you for being here. Black first. Not them fists. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Black Alpha Network in the house. And who else did I just see? And Black Spider with the super sticker. Salute to you. Thank you so much for that. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours. Thank you so much, my good sister Black First. Yes, indeed. I got the Kung Fu cat. Yeah, now look at this dude in the middle. You know, these are the people you should expect. You understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, they're going to say stuff like this. But again, it's the same talking points. So what I want to know is, I want to know from a grassroots Caucasian or a grassroots MAGA, if there is one. Because all you hear, and pretty much like white supremacists, just their whole thing is lying. So there's nobody with a real point over there. They just regurgitate talking points. And, you know, truth be told, the system of benevolent supremacy and privilege is a beast, because you would never know how stupid some of these guys really are.
They're in a box where they've got to choose between a mentally incompetent president and a DEI vice president.
If they can drag him across the finish line and install Kamala, we have a DEI presidency that they can celebrate for the rest of the administration.
Bottom line here is that it's going to go to Kamala, if anybody, because she was a DEI hire.
John, you shouldn't talk like that. It makes you sound like a racist. Don't talk like that.
Wait, can I just say one thing about the first clip we played there?
DEI hire. So basically what you're seeing there with Kamala's uphill battle, it's all uphill. Because now, see, okay, Kamala works because you got her to get the black vote. Now Kamala being back in spot number one, and the idea that, why do you think you got Democrats sitting up there talking in front of her face, basically talking about other candidates? As if she ain't there. She's natural and the legal next choice. And they be talking to her. This is the respect. So again, this is the thing that I'm saying, man. They showing they real true selves. So to sit up here and act like these Democrats, well, ain't no party great. And ain't no this. to have to drop the black off of Kamala. You pushed her being a black woman for all of these years. And now that it's looking like she might have to take the ticket, you drop the black off of her name. And yeah, this cat over here talking about color. Yeah, antithesis of color. Is he from 1964? I mean, I'm assuming he's South African. So maybe that was his point. But talk about rubbing with sandpaper, man. Man, peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours, man. Thank you for the super chat. So yeah, these folks, they're playing both sides. They're talking out both sides of their neck. They definitely trying to play both sides of the fence. And we need to now start being very vigilant on both sides' antics and weighing all of that into the balance. Because like I said, when we talk about busing all of these migrants to sanctuary cities, did they get bused to a place of protection? Because if you're looking at what that man just said, these states can't enforce any of these laws. So you're putting, and look at Chicago, look at these black areas. See, if you guys, man, I wish I had enough time. If you ever get a chance, and I might touch back up on that again, because I do not remember what video that is. That was a few years ago. But like 3 years ago, I touched on the Rajneeshis. If for those who remember, the Rajneeshis was a group out here. They were like this Hindu cult that had the Bhagwan, and they bought all this land. Well, what they were doing here in this little rural town of Oregon, they started going out to the streets of Detroit and started getting people to join their commune, and was getting like homeless people or whatnot and taking them out to this commune. But what they were doing was registering them as voters. So as soon, because you know how they always tell us, like, black folks, y'all, we need to move here in this concentrated location. Black folks need to move here in this concentrated location. Well, the Rajneeshi said, well, we're going to try this plan, and we're going to move all in this consolidated location and organize our vote. Oh boy, do you know these white folks got the feds on them lickety split. And the wave of breaking that thing down was underway. It was fresh off of Jonestown, and like, oh yeah. And like I said, some people speculate that Jonestown was actually doing of the United States government, but who knows? But here we are again with the Bhagwan, and that Bhagwan had his own ideas, and Sister Sarah, who looked like a staunch, calm woman, man, they ran these folks up out of here so smooth, it ain't funny. Like, oh, you thought you was fitting to get some political power up in here? Oh, okay. And now we've replaced we replaced them with the Bundy family. Oh, bad in 1,000. Thanks. We got Clive and Bundy. Woohoo, great. Gotta love that guy. Guys, folks they said, and the federal government don't come take their shit. Mind you, didn't go get theirs. Well, that was the whole thing that they stand off down there in Nevada, and then turn right back around here and had a standoff here where their partner got smoked. And he reached for his gun about 17 times before he finally reaches for his gun. They didn't unload on him. You got about 30 machine guns on this guy. He's reaching and reaching and reaching and reaching and reaching and reaching and reaching, and he finally grabs it. Blah, 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 he lit him up. But man, how many black folks get shot in the back? Oh, he was reaching for a gun, running away. Here's a white man with a cowboy hat on, and you know he's on. And he's on a cold standoff like he at the Wild Wild West. Standing off with the feds, the ATF, they're all out there behind their barriers, and he inching closer to him. No guns is accidentally going off. Yeah, Miss me. Well, I live in, like I say, you go to one of these gun shows in this state, you will see who's in my state. They see you walk in there like, oh, yeah. You ever in the market for weaponry in Oregon? Our gun shows are quite the business. This is Oregon. Artilleryville. They just don't like us with guns. You understand? They definitely don't want one of us shooting one of them. Even if it's in self-defense, we're just supposed to lose and be victims. So you go to prison for defending yourself. Hey, you can't shoot that white man. He doesn't have to respect your rights in the first place. That's why I came out with the hashtag abolish Dred Scott. And that's one law that just quietly sits on the books, but they won't tell you they're actually enacting that in your case. But that's the case. Because there's no rights that you have that a white man is bound to respect. Now, there might be situations where public opinion or the public viewing, like Derek Chauvin, oh, you ain't getting away with that. It's on film. Oh, Black Spider, Oregon. Oh, you already know Oregon, Washington. Yeah. There's plenty of places in Oregon and Washington. Oregon, Washington are long states. And we have 84. Y'all got what is that to run out the where the South Center Mall is up there. So we both have freeways that go straight east. And you start getting off this I-5 corridor, which the I-5 corridor is headed toward the coast of the state. Hell, Seattle is a cruise port. So from downtown Seattle, you can get on a cruise ship and be off up in the ocean. So you start getting through some of these further inland places. That's why I heard when people, when the Mind Your State thing was popping, oh man, I'm going to go out here in Oregon and I'm going to cape for reparations. The man who put reparations, see, again, that's why it's coming out of Portland. Our bill, Senate bill, was, I believe it's 619. Oh my goodness. My man, Lou Fredericks. Lou Fredericks wrote. Lou Fredericks, one of his, he grew up with Martin Luther King Jr. the third. So, you know, he penned that, and it. What's so crazy about that is no one takes his bill and applies it to them at all. That's how you know they full of crap. Because our bill is the most solid bill for reparations that any state could pass right now. I mean, right now you can pass it. The dollar's in it. Who's eligible is in it. There's no discrepancy. No, we're not talking about no tether business. If you are tied to this atrocity, then this is you. If you are not, then you ain't getting none. This doesn't mean you. One of the reasons why I don't deal a lot on the political protest scene no more is because, you know, I wasn't vibing with that black and brown coalition. And on top of that, I seen way too much other stuff moseying on in. Man, we had this event. And I've said this story before, but we've had this event, and this is why you can't, I'm so glad the time we are in right now, because it is us about our agenda. We're not looking to coalition with someone else, because we're celebrating Black gun victims. Everybody else gets up to speak, don't speak nothing about the victims of the situation, but they tie their cause into ours. And one of those POSs was this woman, Maria Garcia. Matter of fact, one of the stories, I think MTV wrote a story on me years, it might be 2015, because we did, well, I was at we had a social, peaceful resistance event. And MTV covered it. And I'll never forget this woman, Maria Garcia. She has always been around where Black things are going on, she always finds her way to mosey in. Well, I brought the mic today, Breezy. You want to get on that bullhorn or megaphone, you can do what you want to do, but the sound equipment is mine. And we ain't hearing your problems today. Jive ass broad. And I'm going to tell you like this. It finally came out. It's unfortunate that people had to learn the hard way. But, when the pandemic started and the shutdown began, some of our legislators was like, hey, we need to do something for the Black community. Guess who went to all the little white steel working unions and all of that to go get a lawyer and get funded? Hey, white men, do you know what they're doing over here? They're going to go give money to Black people. That's racist. This woman has been sitting up under our movement for years. First thing she sees when the brown isn't included in the Black business and Black affairs and Black historical connotation. We're talking about Albina. We're talking about our historical gentrification here. Before there was any Maria Garcias in America. But oh no, Maria Garcia, who was so down with the Black folks and our situations and plights are so aligned, ran right to the white steelworker unions. Went and got them unions and Teamsters. They paid for her lawyer. And then they sued. And then she got awarded $200,000. And then they got some money. While making sure the bill that was and the money that was going to be coming to Black Portlanders got snuffed. And there is my story on the Black and Brown Coalition myth. And with that being said, you have 10 million illegals coming in here. These people need to be supported. And I will say, fire up that jet, because it is time, high time, to get these folks up out this land, to foil the plot against foundational Black Americans. Because all they talking about Project 2025, the two things that will address, that it can address without a major blowback, is mass deportations. There would be nothing impeding that. Not that they say they are going to put a federal ban on eugenics programs, but to have it not shoved down our throats would be a pleasant, welcome change. And so when they wonder why we're not rocking with them, why are you guys doing this and you guys are not doing that? Because we're voting no to benign neglect. And if you got all of this money, like it just came out and, oh, Zelensky, and you called him Putin, you can't even figure his name out right, but you're still pledging and promising to protect them and give them more money to aid their cause. Well, then for us, it is looking more and more as the favorable candidate couch for president 2025. Because you have no black agenda. So I don't see how I could give you a vote. And of course, what no black agenda means, you have no tangibles. Yet and still, you're fighting hard enough against Black America to make sure you can give these illegals, the ones who will never buck or raise a fist to fight you. And I hope all you Pan-Africanists are looking at this right now and understanding where we are at. Because this is the move. And to this I say, hell no. But let them destroy themselves, because sometimes the enemy of your enemy might end up being your friend today. And in this case, fire up that jet and send these people on. Then we can get back to the business of reparations. As much as you guys have hated the truth, the grassroots is still the most effective power on the planet. Because you hold no moral authority, no moral compass has ever been shown from you people. And now we're able to decipher how both wings are playing together against foundational Black American freedmen. Us, descendants of slaves, chattel slavery. And today, we are just putting you guys on notice, as we have been doing. This ain't going nowhere. And we are not stopping, moving, pivoting, or changing our stance. Reparations or no vote. Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall. And let us rise. Can you dig it? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, you know, I got a new Church of Black Empowerment also has became a member. Salute to you. Thank you for being a member as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for being a member. And who did I just see coming here too as well? All right. Yes, Yakanan, or Yakanan. Yakanan. How Davia. I butchered the hell out of that. But salute to you, brother. I appreciate you being here, man. And so, in closing, you know, again, for those of you who are new tuning in, you are tuned into the beatzillapdx official show. This here is the weekly wrap-up.
Now to be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick dastardly, a monthly with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master. And living the true gods. Giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords. And they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or either one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
All right. So we are about out of here, ladies and gentlemen. But, again, just reiterating and doubling down on our situation here. Oh, and let me play this right before we go. So, yes, indeed. In closing, this man, obviously somebody had propped him up. So he had a little bit of energy to call in and tell the talking heads that were feeling some kind of way about his super duper lackluster performance in the debate. And he had to give a piece of his mind and let them know.
The American public is not going to move away from me as an average voter. And again, I'm here for two reasons, pal. One, to rebuild the economy for hardworking middle-class people, give everybody a shot. Just a straight shot. Everybody gets a fair chance, number one. Number two, remember all this talk about how I don't have the black support? Come on, give me a break. Come with me. Watch. I'm getting so frustrated by the elites. Now, I'm not talking about you guys, but about the elites in the party who they know so much more. But if any of these guys don't think I should run against me, go ahead, announce the president. Challenge me at the convention.
Oh, man. For those of you who also believe that Kamala Harris is a good idea.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Yeah, it's just not going to work. It's not going to work. Because we understand this.
How can black people rise up and overcome?
Get out and vote?
That is incorrect. I'm sorry.
And all of you bootlicks and Sambos, let me go ahead and give this to you early because we already know that you are going to be coming out in the droves in the next few weeks. So let me go ahead and start giving out my, getting on my early deliveries. D.L. Hughley, this is for you.
Sambo.
I'm gonna be giving out. It's gonna be moving like hotcakes this go around because boy, they finna come out tough. But it's funny that Al Sharpton made an interesting point that and I think Roland has been trying to do this, but they ain't paying no attention to Roland because he don't move no needle. But Sharpton was saying that man, why only the white reporters get to talk to Joe Biden and this and that? Well, because he respects them. This is how he talks to y'all.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white.
Minority white. So it's not gonna be. This country is doomed because white people will be a minority. It's not just gonna go to hell because of you blacks, but I mean, you guys are really because it'll be too many of you. So we have to import all of these illegals over here, and you're gonna have to start getting used to working with them because they'll make up a bigger percentage than y'all do. Anybody who thinks that we need to still be rocking with this too, I speak for myself. Beatzilla PDX official. The Beatzilla PDX official show. Those of you in this chatting on X, the black grassroots, and the voices of new black media, I think I am safe to say I speak for all parties involved when we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Can't you see what all your cooning has done? For those of y'all who know how that song actually goes. Oh, Lord, I'm telling you, boy. Family, y'all can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket, you can definitely do so and support this channel by way of Cash App. That's $ beatzillapdx. That's Cash App, $ beatzillapdx. And we also have PayPal, which is Zilla Muzak. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. And with that being said, family, we have came to the conclusion of another broadcast. I hope that you have enjoyed this. If you are watching on X right now, you should get over here to the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment if you're a new subscriber. Let me know. And if you were part of the replay gang, shout out and salute to you. I appreciate all of y'all as well. Thank you to everybody who was able to tune in tonight. And like I said, if you guys are in the replay gang, make sure you let us know in the comments and give us a little shout out. Moonrise in the house. Salute to you, Black First. Thank you. Thank you. Tapping in at the end. I don't know if you were here all for the whole broadcast, but because I know some people do, may just chime in at the end. So salute to everybody else or everybody who tuned in tonight, and salute to all of y'all who are catching this replay. I appreciate all of it. And so with that being said, we make sure you keep your notifications on, family. And so that way you'll be notified anytime we are going live or a video is uploaded. And like I said, next Friday will most likely be a uploaded video because it's the wife's birthday. So, and it's the wife's birthday and I got one kid that's going to be in a whole nother state. So yeah, we're gonna have some time for each other. So go, see what we can't get into and enjoy our weekend for her birthday. And it's kind of been how this year has been shaping up, which is good though. I mean, because I started this year off with my grandmother passing, which was not a sad affair or occasion, other than the fact of losing her. But she lived, saw 100 years on this earth, and went peacefully in her sleep without any sickness. So can't really ask for much more, So, like I said, everybody have a good, blessed, and prosperous weekend. And I'm not sure what is this weekend. There's no holidays or anything this weekend. I don't think so. Stay tuned. I'm sure the coverage of this week will probably be hovering around Kamala Harris and the ever-growing list of Democrats asking Joe Biden to drop out of the race. So we are in unprecedented times that we have never seen before, family. And I once again want to commend all of you for being the great influential people that you are, because without you, none of this is possible. And the change that we are seeing starts right here at home with the grassroots. Salute to all of you. Keep your 3 smooth stones at the ready and your slingshot nearby. Stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Y'all have a blessed weekend. Black first.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir. You don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.